Yeah.
Do we even know what you're talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you trying to tell me?
I really honestly felt like I was having a conversation with Tanner. Hi, y'all. Welcome to Hustle Humbly. It's Alyssa and Katie, and we are two top producing realtors in the Baton Rouge market.
We work for two different companies where we should be competitors, but we have chosen community over competition.
The goal of our podcast is to encourage you to find your own way in business.
So stop comparing yourself and start embracing your strengths. Hi, Alyssa.
Hey, Katie.
Are you ready?
Sure.
It's episode 116.
Okay.
Talk to me.
Communication.
Communication. It's all about communication.
Mm-hmm.
And before we start with our talk about communication,
Boop,
boop, boop, boop, boop.
the flip report.
The flip report. What do you have to tell us today?
Okay, so I went by the house yesterday to
Okay.
a walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
My contractor was not there because he was driving to New Orleans to get the subway tile that I picked out for the bathrooms.
Got it.
A little mishap there. Not a mishap, but
Mm-mm.
I calculated wrong because as I mentioned last week, sometimes the price is
Oh, no.
per piece.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking down the tile aisle and it's like everything from $5.99 a foot to $19 a foot, like
Okay.
very expensive stuff.
Okay.
Then the one that I wanted, like I went there
Looking
knowing
for that one.
I wanted this tile.
Okay.
$1.29.
Yay.
Woohoo!
Not.
So
not.
I ordered all of the square footage of it, and they're like, that'll be $5,000. And I was like, but
wait.
why?
But you said $1.
And it's per piece.
And you were like,
and each
oh,
piece is 0.14
no.
square foot.
It was barely over a tenth of a square foot.
So it was basically
Okay.
10 times the price.
that you thought in your
That I
in your
thought.
little flipper brain.
Yeah.
You were like, yippee!
Woohoo! I got a great deal. Oh man, that's so much more than I thought. I would have still got it because it's what I wanted to
That's
get.
why they price it that way, my friend. Because they know exactly what happened to you is going to happen to someone else.
Yes, yes. Well, and I didn't see anything else I liked anyway.
Okay.
Like there wasn't other options.
Okay, well, so it is what it is.
Yeah, so anyway, he got the tile. Great.
Okay. You're like,
Um,
yippee.
The water heater was making a weird noise.
How old is the water heater?
It's not that old.
Okay.
I mean, it's less than 10 years old.
Okay.
And it was draining.
Were you
into
like,
the-
you were like, don't
Yeah,
start digging
and
into
the
my
pipe-
10%.
Right, and the pipe that was draining was hot.
Oh, dear.
So I texted him. I was like,
Oh, while you were there walking through, he wasn't
yes,
there.
he wasn't there. So I was
Okay.
like, this is happening. And he said, okay, I'll be back there today. I haven't heard from him, but I'm sure it was fine. He went and checked on it. So
He solved whatever the problem was. He solved it.
he is wanting me to replace the water heater with a tankless just to get it off the floor and a smaller thing in that ugly storage room.
Okay, well, and
I told him to just tell me how much and I would decide. It's something we can decide later.
right, but that would make it more environmentally friendly,
Environmentally friendly, more functional in there, prettier.
lower utility bills,
all the things.
So, I mean, for the type of buyer you might get, that might be something you could advertise as an amenity,
Yes.
right? New
Yes.
roof, new water
AC.
heater, new AC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Well, I'm not going to talk you out of that one. I have tankless and I love it.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have two because our house is big.
How does it fill up a whole bathtub?
You
Like,
never run out of hot
how?
water. You never run out of hot water.
How does it heat it so fast?
Super speed.
Interesting, because we run out of hot water at our house.
Well, you have a tank.
I know.
There's only so much.
and me and Tanner both take baths.
Oh, man.
So I'm always like,
He's
how
a
long?
big guy. He needs a lot of water to fill up a tub.
I need more water because he takes up more room in the tub.
Oh, true story.
When he gets out the tub, it's like half.
You're like, wait a minute. How does this work?
Yeah. So anyways.
Well, okay. Okay.
So
Anything else?
But I always have to ask him, like, how long has it been since you took your bath? Is there enough water? Like,
See,
I have to
tankless,
wait.
you wouldn't have that trouble.
Well, maybe next time. So what I noticed yesterday when I went by
Okay.
is that the ceilings all look good. He has installed recessed lights everywhere.
I love that because the ceilings are low.
Yes.
And that's a great secret design tip.
Mm-hmm.
When your ceilings
Recessed
are
lights.
low, put in the can lights, recessed lights, so that you don't have these fixtures coming down and posing into the room.
Right.
Okay.
We took out the chandelier in the dining room. I'm doing my air quotes because it's kind of like it is a dining area, but it could be just part of the living room.
It's it's kind of an L shape. It's an L shaped room. Yeah. Okay.
So it's just got 4 can lights in there, and now I feel like it just looks like you could do whatever you want with the room. Now that the chandelier's
more
gone.
options.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, love it.
And the walls had, older homes just have that thick texture.
Mm-hmm.
He has smoothed the walls.
Oh, I love it.
To make them
so it looks more modern.
Paint ready. It does.
Okay.
That's where we are right now.
Okay.
Short little update for you.
Perfect. We haven't picked your paint colors, but I did tell you a nice cabinet color.
Yeah.
And you'll just paint the same thing on the walls.
Yeah, pretty much.
In every room.
Yes.
What about the trim? Will you paint it the same color?
Everywhere.
Trim and wall.
Oh.
Will you paint the trim different than the wall?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, hey, don't stress. Next, stay tuned for next week on the flip report.
When Katie picks the colors.
That's a lot of pressure. I'm just like white. I'm like, paint it all white.
Right.
I want it all white. I want the trim white.
I need a good creamy white.
Fine.
It can't be like,
it's so
white.
No, that's fine. Get
Where's
yourself
my
some
eyes?
Sherwin-Williams Alabaster, 7008.
Is it creamy enough, you think?
I
That's
don't know.
usually what I
Try
go
it
with.
out or look at
That's my go-to when sellers are moving.
Yeah. Me too.
And you could do...
Why wouldn't you give yourself the same advice?
And it's okay to do the walls and the trim and the crown. And...
That I don't know that I would do the trim and the crown the same as that color.
Mm-hmm.
You might want like a white dove or something more
my
white.
house is white dove.
And how do you like it?
It's white. I like it because I have a lot of brick in my house, so it tones it down.
What also with a low ceiling like that, if you paint the walls and the trim and the ceiling all the same, it also gives the illusion of just
it being
a higher ceiling, right? Because you're not cutting it off. Like if the wall was, let's say, a light gray, and then you had a white piece of crown, and then the ceiling,
So could white dove be that color, or is it too white?
I don't know.
Okay,
we'll look into that. The people don't. The people don't care.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to communication. Let's communicate with the people now.
Okay. They had a lot of questions about communication in the FAQ.
Right. So what happened, you guys? 2 episodes ago, we did a Q&A.
Yes.
I'm like, FAQ. That's not right.
Frequently asked questions.
They were frequently asked. You're right. We had a Q&A episode. We did not make it through all of the questions.
No.
So we're trying to see if we can hit some of these questions within this topic, because there were quite a few that were kind of communication focused.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want me to just ask you questions, or do you want to?
I would like to start off with a little disclaimer.
Please.
That I know email is my preferred way.
Uh-huh.
And we're all about, making it your way.
Right.
But we also want you to be professional and respectful in your communication with others.
Yeah.
So that the Realtor brand can gain some respect.
Right.
That we run it like a business.
Uh-huh.
And so having some professional boundaries in your communication
is huge.
Is very important in our industry.
Yeah. Okay, I like the disclaimer. I would also say that, we'll get to the questions and then you'll see. It's okay to also take a cue from the person you are working with or working for. So if your client is better on the telephone and they want to talk to them.
Yes.
If they are fine with emailing and that seems to be covering all the bases, continue via email.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way to just do one type of communication the whole transaction.
And I tell my clients, so I'm not one of those people that gives a questionnaire to my client and that says, how can I be your slave?
Right. What type of communication do you prefer?
Right. Do you prefer texting? I will only text you. Like, I don't do that because I may fall short of what they are expecting.
Right.
Whereas if I tell them up front, hey, when you have houses and all these links that you want to send me, email them to me. So I am very upfront and honest that email is the best way to reach me if it is for work and if you need something from me. However, feel free to call me if you need something.
Right.
I don't tell them, do not call me.
Right.
I don't say that.
No.
But they know email is for non-urgent. Hey, can you check on this house? Can you pull this property disclosure? And then everything else, if you need me, I am here.
I think that texting is where we all get into a little bit of trouble. We've talked about this before. and you have some pushback even with your clients, if they text you addresses and it gets buried underneath a bunch of other texts, all you have to do is text back, hey, could you shoot this to me in an email so I don't lose it?
Right.
The end.
That's all.
I don't think it's necessary for you to ignore the text or do some sort of big talk with your client. Just simply text back the truth, which is, hey, can you just shoot this to me in email so it doesn't get lost in my text?
And then they just know that, when I have houses and want to send them 5 links, I should probably do that in the email.
Surely, how many texts do they lose that they think they responded to?
Everybody does it. So it's a very relatable problem.
Everybody does it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me hit you with a quote before we move on.
Okay.
The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. That's George Bernard Shaw. But that's true. Maybe you think you told them, or you weren't very clear in what you told them, or you forgot to tell them, but you can't. The illusion. That's the biggest problem. The illusion.
And that is something I have discovered a lot also is, I had a seller recently.
Oh, God. Call you out?
No. He wanted me, he needed to get his house on the market in a hurry.
Okay.
I sent him over the checklist for preparing your home for pictures.
Okay.
He said, well, the house is basically empty because my wife and kids already made the move and I am here alone until the house sells, finishing up work.
Okay.
So I said, okay, do you feel like I never, ever schedule photos without seeing the house? I have been to this house before about 3 years ago.
Okay.
But I have not since come to see. But he was in such a hurry.
Oh, no.
I said, here's the checklist. Okay. So I show up and there are boxes everywhere covering the fireplace. Every room had a little bit of something. And I went, we cannot have photos today. And he was like, what? And I was like, no, we cannot. I'm canceling that. Like the guy was
canceled.
The guy was coming in an hour to take photos.
You're like,
I came early to just, and I said, on the checklist, it says clear off your kitchen countertops. He had everything that should have been in the cabinet
was on the
countertop. And he's kind of like, oh, I'm like, you didn't open it.
He didn't read it.
He didn't read it. He didn't read, like.
He was like, it's fine. But a seller's market, just put that thing out there.
I think he was just kind of, his wife is out of town, and.
It didn't look like a problem to him.
It didn't look like a problem to him. I really honestly felt like I was having a conversation with Tanner. I was like,
you're like, did this not look wrong to you?
Right.
What part of when I said, is the house ready for pictures?
Yes.
Did you not understand?
When you said it's basically empty.
It was to him.
It was to him. But it just goes to show that we send them the information. We use the templates.
Right.
But people aren't always reading everything.
No. But to be fair, for this one that went wrong, there were probably 10 that did that went right. So 100%. Hey, look, it's a way smaller percentage than if you didn't communicate that stuff before.
Yes.
To ever, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
That is so.
So what I did was I said, here's what we're going to do. I opened it and I said, clear off countertops. Empty carport, like all the things.
You read it to him?
I read it to him and I came back 2 days later and it was done. Perfect.
And you were like, here you go.
And I sent him the after photo, the pictures when I got them back. And I said, look at that beautiful fireplace.
That was covered by boxes.
It. And he said, wow, the pictures look amazing. I said, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the point.
Here you go.
A lesser agent would have taken the photos with the stuff in there.
I know. I said, I could not help but like smile. And I wanted to like, I don't know.
That's too funny.
It was really kind of adorable because he just thought.
He was like, it's fine.
It looks great.
Everything's fine.
I fixed it.
Good? Not good?
Not good.
Oh, man. No. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Are you ready for a question?
Yep.
Okay. My question is, Do you stick to emailing the other agent for the majority of the transaction, or do you have phone conversations, whether it's discussing the initial offer, negotiating extensions, inspection response, etc.? So I think I will clarify. This question is, when would a phone call be used and when would an email be used?
There are few times when I'm communicating with the other agent where I feel like I have to have a phone call.
Okay.
I pretty much keep phone calls to bad news.
All right. What about pre-offer?
No.
I like a phone call pre-offer, depending on the situation.
I was going to say there are times where I may shoot a text right before the showing.
Yeah.
To say, I am on my way there.
Mm-hmm. Is the house still available?
Is it still available? I am having to use that more in this market.
I will tell you when I feel like a phone call pre-offer is key. One,
I do think it's good.
I need to confirm that the house is still available. 2, are there other offers coming in? Are they in now? What does your seller want for a closing date? Listen to my sweet voice.
Right.
I'm going to be so nice to you during the transaction. We're going to be buddies. Everything's going to be fine. Like, I just feel like, and just recently, I know I told you, I had a transaction where I called the agent who I've done deals with before. I said, my people looked at it. We would like to write an offer. What's the status? I knew before we went that there was one on the table. So I called and said, look, I know you have that offer. I know the response time. My people want it. Tell me, like, if there's a closing date your people would prefer. I want to write the best offer.
Sure.
This cannot be as functional in a text. It can work, but it can. But as a phone call. And do you know what? Remember, they kind of told me some information that helped me make a better offer for my client.
On the phone.
On the telephone.
Yes.
That they would probably not have put in writing.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
So y'all, I think that's a phone conversation. And then you're right. Difficult. Like a bad inspection situation. A low appraisal.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Just make the phone call.
Right.
Everything else can be an email.
Yeah.
And text really should be for emergencies because just like it's hard for you to wade through them, the agent you're sending it to, it's hard for them to wade through it.
Right.
But I still text agents. Sometimes it's appropriate. But I probably wouldn't just text.
No.
I would also have sent it in an email or, like at least if you're going to go to the text, give them an email to go back to. Okay. Anything else on that question?
I feel like there was a few things.
Negotiations, extension,
I was going to say,
response.
I am more trying to keep communication via email with the other real estate professionals, with the realtors, title, lenders, all the things that you need is better via email. I try to reserve the phone more for my clients. To make exceptions for them more than the other agents.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Here we go. This is from Ariel. Y'all, it's another stormy.
It is raining
stormy
hard.
Afternoon on the podcast. So you don't fall asleep on me.
I'm good right now.
You're okay, thank goodness. Okay, Ariel said, I send out an email to all co-op agents when I go under contract.
Yes.
Yay, systems.
Woohoo.
And in the email I have in there, please communicate with me by email. Exactly what it says in the Hustle Humbly template. It's in there in bold and it never fails. Agents don't read it or don't respect it.
What was her name?
Ariel.
Ariel. I feel the same way, girlfriend. Okay. I feel the same way.
Okay, but here's the question. What is a polite way to tell them to communicate with me via email if they are texting me about transaction items?
I respond via email.
Okay, because she says, do I just ignore their text and send them an email? So you're saying, yes, that's what you do.
No. So I usually say, do you mind sending me that in an email?
Yeah, I think there's a polite way to say it.
Yeah, and then I respond via email.
Yeah, I think that's fine. And the more times you do that in a transaction, they'll eventually get the message. Or you know what? This particular time, you're going to have to just...
There are some transactions where that agent will text you every day.
You can make an effort to get the transaction to go the way you want, but you cannot assume or require it to go the way you want. Like, you're just going to have to be a little more flexible.
I have a hard time with this, but
if they want to keep texting me, that also, I just like to mirror what the other person is comfortable, but I don't do as many transactions as you do. So I think I have the luxury of being able to say, look, if texting seems to be your jam, then we'll just text.
Yeah.
Okay. But it says, I don't want to come across as rude, but it's really annoying when I have someone blowing up my phone over non-important items that I would like in my email. Or an agent who will email you, call you, and leave a voicemail and then text you all in 15 minutes over something not time sensitive.
I'm telling you, when it is out of control like that, I do stop responding. And I only respond
via email. I think that is key.
And then they realize every time they go text me, wow, she's never, it's all me. All these messages are me.
I agree. I think if they have certainly in that case where they've sent it to you all the ways, then you pick the way you want to respond. If it's email. Right. Great. If they keep texting you, refuse to email you, just count your blessings that they're communicating with you at all.
Yeah.
Because there are some agents that are like ghosts. They're gone. You don't know where they are. You can't find them. And just take a screenshot of the text and send it to your email. I know it's an extra step and it is an annoyance, but it is sort of just a part of the job.
Now, when I am watching a show or whatever, late at night, and a client texts me, I don't respond until the next morning.
Okay.
If it's an agent that's calling, texting me in the evenings, I will respond to them and say, I am with my family right now and I will call you in the morning.
Right.
And that's me saying, I'm not doing this. Maybe you shouldn't either.
Right.
Perspective. Maybe you need to go spend some time with your family or your dog or whoever that's important to you.
Or just go take a bubble bath and have some alone time.
And relax. Turn it off because it's 8:00 at night and we're not emergency room doctors.
No
and I will talk to you tomorrow.
I will talk to you tomorrow.
I don't say that to my clients, but I say that to the agents that are not respecting professional boundaries.
Makes sense. Okay, there were a couple of logistical questions also. Okay. My question, this is from Lisa, is in regards to advertising to your sphere. When you send a thank you note, Christmas card, birthday card, deliver dinners, pay for lawns to be mowed, or any sort of personal branding, do you include your business card or do you just sign your name because these people know that you are a realtor?
I just sign my name because they know I'm a realtor.
Same. And I'll do YouTube a solid. My thank you notes have, because I didn't like the, I just felt like it was icky sometimes to put my business card inside.
Yeah.
Because it felt like I'm saying thank you for something like whatever. And then I put the business card in there and it was sort of like,
Took away from your thank you.
So you know what I have? I have a thank you note with my contact info on the back.
Beautiful.
So look, we know that you're a realtor. It's on the back. I didn't have to add in something. It didn't feel like a salesy thing. It's just on there. So
I like that.
That works for that
If
situation.
I handwrite a note, I may put a business card in. Depends what it
was for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a blanket. I mean, this is birthday card. I would never put a business card in a birthday card.
Never.
Not in a Christmas card, not in a birthday card, not in any good tidings. Maybe in a thank you for your referral, like you're going to send me another one. Right. So I think just use your judgment. But like I said, I like my little thank you note.
Yeah, I like that a
because then
lot.
it's on there and it's more like a, it's not so much of I'm giving you a card.
Right.
I want to give you a card. Also, then you don't have to buy all those cards.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. How do you work with complicated, unresponsive realtors? So they're not over communicating. They're not text communicating. They're not communicating at all.
It depends what I need. If it's like, I need this, it is urgent, I will call, text, email.
Yeah.
What do I have to do to get this question answered? And if it's been days, well, I'm also, if I'm the listing agent, maybe I can reach out to the lender.
Right. As the listing
go
agent,
behind the, like,
you can just
I
go
talk
around
to
them.
the lender and see how things are
go
going.
to the title office, somebody.
Yes. And eventually, if I just can't reach them, I'll go to the broker.
Yeah.
And I haven't never had to do that.
Okay.
Have you?
I don't think so.
They've always responded. I've always been able to find the information I needed.
Yes. I'll just, because typically as the listing agent is when you're like trying to find out something that you have no control over, right? Mm-hmm. And you're right. You just go to the title office and say, hey, I tried the agent and the lender and they won't respond. Right. Have you spoken to them? Can you reach out? Because typically when the title office reaches out to the lender, they respond. Yes. So you're right. There's ways around that situation. Here's another good quote for you. Okay. Communication works for those who work at it.
For those who work at it.
Yep. John Powell. So you got to actually work at it.
Practice communication.
Hey, Alyssa.
Hey, Katie.
We have merchandise.
Yay!
Can you believe it?
What do we have?
We have a mug. So cute. The mug is my favorite. Mm-hmm. We have a tumbler.
That's my favorite.
That's the one you love.
And a sweatshirt is my favorite.
Oh, the sweatshirt's cute.
I live in a sweatshirt because my husband keeps the air on like 65.
So you need it for the summer.
Yeah.
And then keychains.
Okay.
Like wrist strap keychains. So like if you want to put it in your lockbox.
Oh, that's neat.
I really like whenever I go to a showing and I can put the key on my wrist and then I don't worry about locking myself out.
That's awesome.
So nice. So we have all of those things. Mug, cup, keychain, t-shirt, sweatshirt.
Love it.
All with the cute little logo.
Perfect.
I know, it's so fun. So you guys go to hustlehumblypodcast.store.
Happy shopping.
Happy shopping. Okay, here's another sphere question from Barbara. Okay. Do you do something quarterly? I so love my people. I just want them to remember me when they have real estate needs without bugging them. Oh, she says, what's the plan? This is not really a communication so much as a frequency of communication.
Right. And we've touched on this in several episodes, but it doesn't need to be much quarterly.
Well, quarterly is okay.
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 I think the quarters will sneak up on you faster than you realize.
Like, look,
I think you just sent something, and next thing you know, it's the next quarter.
If you consistently contact your entire database once per quarter, it is going to be effective.
Yeah, 100%.
If you consistently get through just the A's and B's once a month, it is not going to be effective. You run out of steam. You never get to the end. Just start with quarterly, and then if you feel like you have more time, then do monthly. But
I don't know that you ever have to go to monthly.
You don't need to. You just don't need to. Okay. Would you like to hear? I have one last question, and then I'll read you these.
Okay.
From Clarity. She said she can't remember the episode, but we were talking about sending a quick video to internet leads. I believe it's the cold leads.
Cold leads, yeah.
Okay. Can you talk more about what you say and how you decide who to send that video follow-up to? So how do you communicate with this video? When do you send it?
That's really only when I have the quote-unquote cold lead come through the Dave Ramsey website, because I'm a Dave Ramsey endorsed realtor.
Right.
So that's the only place I would get a lead that I've never met.
Okay.
You could also use this if someone comes through Realtor.com.
Even a referral?
Yeah. I don't have one tailored to that specifically.
Okay.
But it basically just says, hey, my name's Alyssa Jenkins. Thank you so much for coming through the website. I wanted to take a moment to just send you a video to introduce myself and let you know that I am here, and the area that you're looking in is the area that I work. And so let me know how your schedule looks to talk and do a consultation.
Love it. It's very short.
Yep.
And sweet. And they see your face.
Yeah.
It's a good way to communicate. If you're not afraid to get on video, that is a great way
and
to
I
communicate.
think the fact that it is casual and not like me in a studio.
Right.
All professional.
You want it to look like you just did it.
Yes.
You don't want it to look like
I stopped. And,
like, hey, it's me.
Hey, yeah.
Here I am.
Right.
I'm a real person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you like to hear the 7 C's of communication?
Sure.
Okay. These were created by Scott Cutlip, the University of Wisconsin professor, in his book. I think it's called Effective Public Relations, published in 1952.
Wow.
Wow.
Still stands.
It's Google says.
Right.
So
still valid.
I'm going to tell you the 7 C's, and you can tell me if they still stand. Clarity.
Are you clear in what you were saying?
Do we know what you're talking about?
Yeah,
do we even know what you're talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you trying to tell me? Correctness. Okay.
So is it accurate?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Conciseness.
Get to the point.
We don't need to know your life story. Just tell me what I need to do. Courtesy.
You're so good at this one.
I am so proud of my courteous
I'm good at the
communication.
And you're good at
you are
courtesy.
Right. We need to figure out a way to marry these things.
I'm working on it.
Okay. I think that's great. The next one is concreteness.
Oh, what's that mean?
Well, I'll have to deep dive. I'm just reading off the main list.
Okay.
Consideration and completeness. I will say some of that sounds redundant, like correctness, completeness.
Right.
But anyway, those are the 7 C's of communication. You want to learn more, you can go online and just go to town.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think? Where do you think most people go wrong when they're talking to their clients? How about that?
By not just setting the expectations early.
Okay.
By saying, yes, and when you look at houses, if you need me to check any, just send them to my email. So when I get to my computer, or these are my office hours, just setting the expectation up front.
Right. People don't actually communicate their business practices. So do you have business hours? How do you handle showings? What are your buyer rules? Like what is your niche? Like where do you communicate this information to the public? How, if you've got a new client, how do they know to call you if they see a for sale by owner sign? How do they know what to do if they want to go to a new construction neighborhood? Like, where did they find that information?
So many realtors have the mindset that the client is the boss, and the client is the one communicating, and the client is the one telling us what to do, and the client is the one dictating how the transaction is run, and it could not be further from the truth.
Yep.
It is our job to be the professional and do the majority of the communication and the guiding and the directing and getting it. Yeah. I mean, that's our job.
Facilitating communication, even between your client and the lender, your client and here's a great example.
Okay.
In the templates, there is a part that says the title company is going to reach out to you and ask you for your personal information, including your social security number. Because I cannot tell you how many times I had a client, typically a seller, who's not selected the title office, gets a random call from XYZ Title, and they start asking them questions like marital status and their social security number and their mortgage loan number. And they're like, well, I don't even know who you are. And the seller can get a little nervous about just giving that information out, except when I added that into the template, no longer did anyone freak out when a title office called them and said, can I have your social? Right. Now, typically, I would also add in the step of once the buyer told me who it was, and once I made that email response to XYZ Title that gave my client's contact info, I would shoot an email or a text that said, hey, Mr. Smith, XYZ Title is the one who's going to be contacting you.
Right.
I don't have to reiterate the whole story, like of they're going to ask you for this stuff, but I at least can say this is the title company.
So when the title company emails me saying, hey, Alyssa, we need your client's information, I reply and copy my clients.
I do that sometimes too.
And now
they're like, oh.
They see me, they see the title company, the title company sees them.
And they have the template before that said, you're going to get these calls.
So it's very helpful. And then I think with the communication too, another one that it really helped with is the feedback. Yeah. You know, after every single showing, when the door closes. Have you heard? Have you heard?
No.
I have not gotten those phone calls because I have communicated that this is how feedback works.
This is what's going to happen.
It could take 24 hours or never.
Yeah.
And this is the process for feedback.
Right.
So I really can't think of the last time I had a seller say, any feedback? Like none within the hour.
Right. Well, they don't do it.
No, they don't.
They've already
saw
communicated the expectation. So they have to communicate what the expectation is. And then they know, and then it's fine. What sort of communication would you hold back? Like, I do think some agents maybe, and this comes up in all of our episodes about emotions and boundaries, but like, I think there are some things that agents over communicate.
Okay. So I just had a transaction.
Okay.
Where The agent totally lost control of her buyer. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's her fault. Sometimes you just...
People are people.
People are people. I got the inspection confirmation from the home inspector because he saw it was my listing.
Okay.
But I had never gotten a request in showing time. So I told the agent, I emailed her the confirmation and said, hey, I just got this.
Right.
I didn't get anything in showing time. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know he scheduled the home inspection.
Whoa.
So then she's like, oh my gosh, he's wanting all these things. I'm so sorry. And he's freaking out about this because of this. And she called me while they were like at the end of the home inspection.
Oh no.
And she's just rambling about all the things,
And
every single thing.
Wait. Do we have to talk about this?
So my sellers were like, hey, how'd the home inspection go? And I just said, I have not gotten the repair request yet. So it usually gets to report the next day. We'll see what they put together. I was freaking out too. Well, then I get this repair request and it's like, seller to clean and service air conditioner.
That was it?
Yes.
And you were like, good thing you didn't communicate all of that to your seller.
Yes.
They would have freaked out.
Yes. And I was because she freaked me out.
And she was because she needed to just take a beat.
Yeah. And it pretty much went like this the whole rest of the transaction. And I'm not really sure who was
who's to blame.
If the buyer really was bad, I don't know. I mean, there were some red flags, but everything ultimately went fine. Yes.
It closed.
But I think that it is our job to be the buffer.
Yeah.
And, it saved my sellers a restless night's sleep wondering,
right.
Oh, no.
Right.
What are they going to do?
What are we
Are we moving? Are we going to go back on the market?
No. They didn't know.
They just slept like little babies and not my baby, but babies. Babies that sleep. I guess.
Babies that sleep.
They slept great. And then they woke up the next... Oh, that is thunder, friends. I saw the lightning in your glasses.
It was right there.
Crazy. So yes, I think that and then if we had gotten a bad repair request, we don't need to say things like, so this buyer is crazy.
Oh my heavens, please don't.
No, we just need to say, these are things that the buyer is very concerned about.
When it's a really bad one or a bad news, I'll just say, please let me know how you would like to respond. I'm like, I'm not going to put my opinion in here. Or like if I get a really low offer, choose your words wisely.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll say, I'm sure you may want to counter this offer.
Mm-hmm.
Or like I put that seed in there, not like, don't make it feel like you brought the bad offer, right? You're just a messenger.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way you frame your message is huge in getting to the closing table.
It's our job to remain calm.
Yes.
And to let them feel taken care of.
Right.
They are in the hands of a professional.
Oh, you know what the other one is? Always use this. Especially always in a difficult situation. You tell them whatever the thing is, and then you say, you let me know what you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
What are you comfortable with?
Mm-hmm.
What would make you comfortable? If there's a trouble, like they need more information, they're trying to, just let me know what you're because you as the agent have to take the stand that you're willing to walk away from any transaction to protect or facilitate what your client wants.
Right. If
If you're trying to hold it together for your reasons, they're going to pick up on that.
Yes.
And then they're going to feel like they don't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you comfortable with?
Another similar situation, I did have one that had kind of a crazy buyer. He was causing some troubles. It was just a mess. But at the final walkthrough, he sends this ridiculous list of every scratch on the floor.
You were the listing agent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Things that had been there
the whole time.
The refrigerator is now gone, and there was like a quarter size discoloration on the wall, but it was dry. It wasn't a leak or anything, but he wanted all these tests. No.
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 Just no.
No. Long story short, I just handled it and put it to rest and never brought it to my sellers. And
you
he
handled
agreed.
it with the agent and the buyer.
Yes,
You didn't tell
I
the
didn't
seller.
bring anything to
No.
myself. I didn't even have anything to bring.
Right.
Mr. Seller, will you rip up your floor and replace it?
No.
Like no. So I handled it.
Right.
He ended up having a closing delay. And we could not close on the Friday that we wanted to.
Oh, gosh.
So the agent called me and said, I think I know the answer to this after what we just went through. But since we can't close till Monday, he would like to know if he could have early occupancy.
Well, he shouldn't have acted like that during the walkthrough.
And I said, if he made that list in 15 minutes during the final walkthrough.
No way.
He is not having access to the house for 3 days before we close.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
She said, do you want to call your sellers?
No,
I do not. He is not having access to the home. So she said, I understand. Thank you. I will call my buyer. So I got to thinking, I probably should let my sellers know I made that decision. I didn't want to overstep too far.
Okay.
So I called them and I said, hey guys, I just want to let you know that everything's fine. There are a few things that I have been buffering for you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And because of this closing delay, he wanted to move in early. And I made the executive decision to say no.
Okay.
Without consulting you, based on some things I have been dealing with in the transaction. And they were like,
what?
Really?
They're like, tell us the juicy info.
They're like, wow. They were like, well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. They were just like, oh man.
Something's going on.
Yes. And they were just, I said, so I just wanted to let you know that.
He might bring it up.
If it's brought up, I wanted you to be aware.
I shut that down.
That I shut that down. And they said, well, we agree.
Agree.
Whatever you think.
We're doing that.
We agree. And I said, okay, good. I felt like I needed to make this phone call just to let you know.
Oh my God.
And they were like, okay, well, thanks. And then like 30 minutes later, they texted me in the group text, thanks again for handling everything for us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No problem.
You're welcome.
Guess what? I'm not the agent to say, guess what these buyers did again.
Right.
Like, we're not here to fuel the drama flame.
Look, gossip and all of that has no place in a real estate transaction.
No.
Your seller, your buyer does not need to know what the other agent said, what their client said that was relayed to you. You can be the end of that communication.
Mm-hmm.
You can just stop. Guess what? Buck stops here. I'm not putting that on to my client.
One more story.
Oh, yes, please.
I have some buyers right now that are buying with an agent that I have had trouble just communicating with in the past.
Okay.
You think I'm dry. Okay.
Whoa.
So I know. I'm over here like, dang.
Like, okie dokie.
I have never gotten what I wanted on behalf of my clients.
Not gonna happen
with this one.
Okay.
So it was an old house and it was a really long inspection report.
Okay. You're the
buyer's agent.
Oh, nuts.
And it was a multiple offer situation and we almost didn't win. Like, she almost just rejected us. She basically sent me a text that said, can your people come higher or do I need to send you a rejection?
Whoa.
And I said, is this my multiple offer notice? Like, are you letting me know? Yes, we have another offer. That's why I'm asking. Okay, well, let me talk to my clients and get you a highest and best offer.
Mm-hmm.
So I did let them know. I said, hey guys, I have worked with this agent before.
Right.
It is a little bit cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't get a lot of information. I'm not going to be able to elaborate on much.
Yep.
I have asked what the sellers prefer for a close date. I have not heard back. I'm just letting you know that that's just kind of how this goes.
Right.
And they were like, okay, no, now they know.
Yeah.
What are we working with? And so when the inspection went the way it did and I typed the draft repair request, I said, guys, I have typed this draft repair request. I think we might need to be prepared that we have spent a whole day going back and forth finalizing this. And they may say no to all of it. They just might. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah, the way that things have been going so far, we kind of thought that that might be the case. I said, but all we can do is try. And then you get to decide if you want to buy the house or not. So all we can do is our best and you get to decide.
Yeah.
So we submitted it. It was like 8 things that were really big things that need to be done. And they agreed to 2 of them. And I was like, no. But I called my people and they said, well, we're just really excited that they agreed to 2 of them.
Yes.
We thought they were going to say no to everything. Yes. And I thought, great. Me too, actually.
Right.
Like, I thought they were going to say no to everything too. I thought you would be more upset about it, but I think they were just prepared that I told them,
well, right.
We may, in this market, they might just say no.
Right.
So when we got 2, all of a sudden,
win.
It was a win, when in any other market, this would have been not a win for sure.
Right.
So I think clearly knowing how to buffer, what to buffer, when to buffer. I said nothing about this agent's integrity.
Professionalism. Thank you. You were professional.
I did not say anything about that to my clients. I just said, I have worked with this agent and this is how it goes. We don't get a lot of information. It's very cut and dry. There's not a lot of negotiating.
Yeah.
But you get to decide if you want to buy the house or not. And that's the good news. So
that's great
let's
news.
Just do what we can do.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Here you go. Good communication is the bridge between confusion and clarity.
That's very true.
That was Nat Turner. It's so true.
Because if you don't explain how feedback works, they are very confused.
They're very confused.
They don't understand why they didn't find out right then.
We have talked about this many times, but you go through real estate transactions every day as your job. Most buyers and sellers go through them 5 to 7 to 10 years. It's in between 3, on a faster one. Even if it's 2 to 3 years, they don't remember, and they were probably on the opposite side.
Right.
They were a buyer, now they're a seller. They don't know. You cannot communicate enough what the process is and what to expect.
And that's why sometimes I even take paragraphs from the templates.
Yeah.
Like the longer ones, like the you're under contract now, what happens next?
Yeah.
And I might copy and paste it, just like the appraisal section, and resend it.
Yeah.
After the inspection is over.
Hey, this is what's happening.
Yes.
Yep.
So resending the same email, or, hey guys, I know I sent this email to you right when we went under contract, but I'm resending it here so that you have the checklist, the move out checklist again. Right. There's nothing wrong. I have sent the same email several times where I'll say, hey, I know I sent this 3 weeks ago, but here it is again, just in case. And they always appreciate that.
Oh, they always appreciate that. Okay, let's talk about when your client is upset, how that communication goes down.
I mean, I guess it just depends what they're upset about.
I just wanted to make sure that we pointed out that a lot of times your client just needs you to listen while they vent about a situation. It doesn't mean they want to cancel the listing or the contract at their house they're buying. It doesn't mean that they're mad at you. Sometimes they just need to express their feelings about a situation, whether you can fix it or not. And you getting all antsy and worked up and, upset about it doesn't help. Sometimes they just need to say what they got to say, and you got to listen and just say, I understand your concerns or your frustration. Sometimes I'm just like, you maybe just sleep on it and we'll talk about it again tomorrow.
So I just finished this book for like the 3rd time.
Oh, what is it?
How to Talk So Little Kids Will Listen.
Yes.
And I have found that these methods not only work on your children.
Perfect.
But on your husbands.
Oh, and your clients.
And your clients.
And other agents.
And other agents.
Tell us some gems.
The step 1, no matter what the situation is to acknowledge feelings.
Yeah, oh yeah, I like it.
So your kid comes home angry, throwing things around, blah, blah, blah. You're not going to say, well, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You say, you look like you had a hard day at school.
Yeah.
Or
you look like you're not very happy right now.
yes. Yes. But that's always step one. And then everything else just kind of flows from there. But just saying, I know that it stinks that you can't move in this weekend.
Right.
You know, I am just as upset as you are that this happened.
Right.
I am so upset with you that these sellers won't agree to our repair requests.
Right.
Just acknowledging it for what it is. Yeah. Because sometimes there's not always a solution.
No.
But you're right. Just letting them listen, offering some solutions eventually.
Right.
But
sometimes I like to deliver the news, tell them I'll get back to them with some thoughts.
Yes,
I do. Here's the news, stew on that for a bit, and then we'll revisit. We don't, or even with offers. We've talked about this before. Low offer, just here it is. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about it in the morning. Let's talk about it in a couple of hours. I don't want to talk about it right now.
Right.
While you're having your initial reaction.
There are many times where it's usually the truth, but I'll say, hey guys, I saw they just sent us their repair request. I used the template. Here's what happens next. Right. I'm headed into a few appointments, but wanted to get this to you quickly. We can talk at 4:00.
Right.
You know, just letting them have some time.
Yeah.
With the news.
They need time and space to think about it.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I had another quote. Communication, the human connection, is the key to personal and career success.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Paul Meyer. Well, yeah, you have to communicate. You cannot communicate too much.
No.
Unless you're giving emotionally charged communications that would be more like gossip from the other agent's side.
Right.
But otherwise, you cannot communicate too much.
No.
All right, here's the last one. If you just communicate, you can get by. But if you communicate skillfully, you can work miracles. Jim Rohn.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot you can accomplish with some good communication. Mm-hmm. People just need to know what's going on.
Yes.
Just what's going on.
And that you're there.
What's happening next.
And that you're aware. Yeah. What's next?
What's happening next?
What's next?
Right. Don't have them ask you. Over communicate what's coming next. Hey, I'm just checking in to let you know we haven't had any showings y'all, one day it is not going to be a seller's market.
Right.
Because we've been there.
Yep.
And one day you're going to have sellers who want to call you every day and be like, why isn't my house selling?
Why isn't it showing?
One day this is going to happen. And you're going to be so happy if all you do is get to them before they get to you.
Yes,
and once
that's the goal.
Week, you say, hey, just checking in. Wanted to let you know. No showings this week. No calls on the sign. Other houses in your neighborhood are taking 2 to 4 months to sell. Whatever it is.
Yes. Just talk to them.
You communicate before they come looking for you.
And right now, I'm having to do this with buyers.
Yeah.
Because I have them set up on searches. Mm-hmm. And I am not getting any notifications.
It's the reverse.
I keep going in and checking to make sure their notifications are on. It's broken.
Is this thing on?
Broken. And then I email them and say, hey guys, I know we haven't talked in a few days. I have not seen anything hit the market. I'm still looking.
Right.
Have y'all seen anything that has caught your eye? If so, send it my way. I'll do the same. But just wanted to let you know I'm here.
That's important.
I send that email a lot lately.
Yikes. Well, it's the same as the seller one when the market's the other way.
Right. Great.
Just want to let you know I'm here.
I'm here. I'm aware of what's going on.
Exactly.
So,
any other thoughts on communication?
No, I don't think so.
Perfect. Okay. Glad we were able to catch some more questions with that one. All right. Ready for a toast? Here we go. This toast is from Ariel Schroeder. I'm trying to see. Okay. Oh, Ariel submitted one of our questions today. So that's
yes, I was going to
perfect.
say, I know her name.
Ariel submitted one of our questions. Okay. She would like to give a toast to 2 of the agents on her team.
Okay.
I'm going to read in parentheses. She says, I know y'all aren't a fan of teams. Ha ha. Neither was I, but I fell into a team lead position and I love it.
Good.
Which is why I'm such a fan of your show. You all give me easy, digestible content to relay to the agents. We're not against
Wonderful.
teams.
No, we're not against teams.
But
just because we're solo agents doesn't
that's
mean
so
we're
funny.
against teams.
Okay. So anyway, Ariel wants to toast to Jordan Heath and Sarah Davis. They are both newer to the business, but they love to learn and they love to listen to the show. Great. They also are doing a great job working their sphere and stepping up their social media game.
Oh, good.
I want to give them props for putting themselves out there and doing the work. I'm proud of them.
That's wonderful.
Okay, so cheers to Jordan and Sarah. Thank you to Ariel for the question and the nice toast.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, cheers.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Hustle Humbly podcast. Let us know who we should toast to for the next episode.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Hustle Humbly Podcast. If you have an episode, topic, or question, please email us at hustlehumblypodcast@gmail.com.
Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. See you next week. Bye.
This is the good life.
There's like trouble. It's trouble. That should be our opening noise.
The door. That's when you know we are ready.
Welcome. You okay over there?
I'm full.
Was a good burger?
Mm-hmm. Very good. I was hungry.
You're gonna love this. Okay. What? I just want to know where they came
This
from.
smells good.
That one?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Where'd you get this?
From grove.com, or I think it's what's called grove.com. I get like a lot of my bath supplies and cleaning supplies. It's supposed to be like greenish. I don't know. Less packaging kind of thing.
It smells so good.
They make this one. So I got the body wash in this too.
Yeah,
you don't say. Let me just put
I'm annoyed I washed my hair today and all my appointments got canceled. I was gonna just ponytail it and I was like, nope.
Tell it to YouTube.
YouTube, I did my hair for you today.
You just told us it wasn't for YouTube at all. It was for your buyer's appointments. What happened to your buyer's appointments, Alyssa?
All the houses sold.
All the houses sold before you could get there.
Yeah.
You know what they say? Womp womp.
Mhm.
What did your buyer say? Are they upset?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just annoyed. They're like, all right.
Well,
They know the drill.
Okay, communicated it up. What do you want me to call that?
Communication.
You're terrible at naming today, for the record.
But I feel like
Closing delays.
that's what
Communication.
But then they're like, we need one on, like we have so many on lead gen, but we didn't name it lead gen.
So you think that's the
so
problem?
They don't understand what it is.
YouTube, comment below if you think that's the problem. We're naming the episode. Are we naming the episodes incorrectly? We're going to name this one communication. I would call it communication is key, except I already did consistency is key, and I feel like I can only use the same phrase one time.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll just call it communication.
No.
I start off with talk to me.
Talk to me, semicolon. Communication.
Okay,
Is
perfect.
that too long?
No, we have very long ones.
Okay.
All right, good job. Proud of you. Okay, bye, YouTube.